I want a quarterback with a name that'll cut glass, razor sharp. When I close my eyes, I see this thing, this big sign, and this name is in like bright blue neon lights with like purple outline, and this name is just so bright and so sharp that the sign, it just blows up because the name is so powerful. This is Dirk Diggler. He's my quarterback in Madden 23 Face of the Franchise. I named Dirk Diggler after Mark Wahlberg's character from my favorite movie, 1997's Boogie Nights. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go to the nearest Blockbuster and rent that movie immediately, preferably on VHS. Dirk is a free agent in the NFL, and he's free to sign anywhere he wants. After looking carefully at all of the offers, I've decided he's going to play for the San Francisco 49ers. I have a feeling Dirk's going to thrive in Kyle Shanahan's QB-friendly offense, and the only downside is that he's going to be the second most handsome quarterback in the building. Dirk is taking Alex Smith's old number, but I hope that doesn't mean he also gets benched on his way to a Super Bowl. Everyone plays Madden so you can watch cutscenes of phone calls, and luckily we get one here early on. Dirk's agent asks him if he wants to be a star or a team player, and I think the answer is pretty obvious. Dirk is a big, bright, shining star. I've got the choice to practice or study film if I so choose, but Dirk is a gunslinger a la Brett Favre.
What's nickel defense?
We don't think on this channel, we just play. And our first game is a preseason tilt with the Green Bay Packers. And I'll tell you what else is green and packed excellently. This video's sponsor, HelloFresh. Do you have a packed schedule this fall watching college football, NFL, or the stretch run in the MLB? Well, HelloFresh has meals covered with a weekly selection of 30 plus recipes and 70 plus convenience items, all delivered to your door. And have you been to a grocery store recently? Have you seen those prices? Well, guess what? HelloFresh is up to 72% cheaper than dining at a restaurant or grocery shopping, according to a Zagat dining survey. And say you've been watching that one show with the guy from the memes on Twitter and you want to add your own little signature. You can easily customize your meals with Hello Custom by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading to choice proteins, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. It's never been easier to eat your way. And look, I'm no 5-star chef, but since I've been getting HelloFresh delivered, I've never enjoyed cooking more. Just this week, I had the caramelized onion Swiss burger, and despite the cheese coming from Switzerland, there was nothing neutral about it. In fact, it was downright delicious. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code WILLSUCK65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Once again, go to HelloFresh.com and use code WILLSUCK65 for 65% off plus free shipping. And now, let's get back to some football. This is just a preseason game, but Madden had the bright idea to not let you skip them, so I'm going to use these reps to get myself ready for the regular season, unlike Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. My first throw is a perfect out route to MacLeod, so nice they named him twice, but we're unable to convert a third down. I'm taking the easy throws, more of a Tom Brady style than Brett Favre, but then again, who wants to be like Brett Favre these days? I finally test my arm strength with a deep shot to Deebo Samuel down the left sideline, but it goes about as well as his trade request from last offseason. I just barely complete a pass on 3rd and 10, but my receiver coughs up the ball and Eric Stokes scoops and scores for a Packers touchdown. I almost chase him down, but Dirk is only 5'5". He's certainly no Ben Roethlisberger when it comes to preventing touchdowns. I convert on 3rd and 6 with a pass to Brandon Ayuk, but Kyle Shanahan decides to sit me down in the middle of the drive, so I guess I'll have to wait till next week. Next week we're in Minnesota taking on the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, and I'm off to a pretty good start in the first quarter. Unfortunately, I have my welcome to the NFL moment one play later when I get absolutely swallowed up by Danielle Hunter. One play later, I try to force a seam route to Deebo Samuel, and I almost get picked. This might be a little harder than I thought. It's now mercifully the final preseason game in Houston against the Texans. On the second play of the game, I make a giant boner. Not only do I cross the line of scrimmage before throwing, but my pass gets picked off. At least Dirk made the tackle. But Dirk is totally unfazed by the interception, and he starts ripping the ball down the field with complete authority. On 2nd and goal, he stops, finds an open MacLeod, and throws a touchdown. MacLeod was wide open, which seems to be the general defensive strategy for the Texans. In the second quarter, I throw a beautiful ball to Deebo for a huge gain, and after that, I follow it up with a laser beam for MacLeod's second touchdown. I throw a second interception in the third quarter, but I'm telling myself that only the good stuff matters in the preseason, right? It's now the first week of the regular season, and Dirk is getting ready for the Chicago Bears by playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and literally hunting bears. Fortunately, Soldier Field isn't a complete slop fest. but it is still Soldier Field, so that's bad enough. I think they call it Soldier Field because there's more injuries than actual war out there. Dirk is battling Justin Fields today, and Justin Fields will be battling his own offensive line. On his first play as a 49er, Dirk keeps the ball on a read option, but he can't get around the edge. He'll have to work on his edging. It's time to throw the ball, and how this pass doesn't get intercepted is an absolute mystery to me, but hey, it's better to be lucky than good, and I think Tom Brady's proven that his whole career. Dirk is now diggling and dunking the ball down the field, but not with the accuracy of the aforementioned Thomas Brady. After missing a throw, Dirk is summoned to the sideline, but this is the Bears, so naturally we get the ball back quickly. Dirk is playing small ball, trying to find a rhythm, matriculating the ball down the field, as Hank Stram would say. On a 1st and 10 just past midfield, Dirk nearly gets sacked, but he gets rid of the ball while Bears defenders begin tackling themselves. Dirk has his first trip to the red zone, and my only hope is that we do better here than Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Dirk sees the middle of the field part like the Red Sea, and he sprints into the end zone for his first 49er touchdown. Dirk gets to enjoy the moment with his teammates, performing a dance known as the whip and then the shenane. It's no Charleston as far as dances go, but it'll have to do. I'm wondering if Dirk is maybe so short that the defense literally couldn't see him on this play. It's 7-0 49ers, but the Bears drive down the field and kick a field goal to make it 7-3. Dirk pulls a rabbit out of his hat and shovels the ball to Elijah Mitchell for a solid pickup. Only Mahomes, fellas. Only Mahomes. On the next play, Dirk drops back and finds his star tight end, George Kittle, who bullies his way down the sideline for a huge gain. On the next play, Dirk rolls out of the pocket and rambles all the way for a first down. He's a rambling man, what can I say? A couple plays later, Dirk draws in the pass rush and drops it over the top to Elijah Mitchell, who does the rest. It's a touchdown. Diggler is dealing, and it's only the second quarter. We get the ball back, pinned back on our own territory, but Dirk takes the snap out of shotgun and throws a frozen rod to the middle of the field. Much like Nowitzki, Dirk simply can't miss. I don't know if this is a product of playing the Bears or he's the greatest quarterback of all time. There's simply no in between. Unfortunately, just when I think Dirk has his 3rd touchdown of the game, George Kittle fumbles inside the 5-yard line. This would probably never happen in real life because it would require Kittle to actually be healthy for a game. Even after the turnover, the defense holds tight and Dirk makes a few of his best throws of the game. Dirk hits a comeback route on the left hash, then follows it up with play action and fires a missile on the over route. But all good things must unfortunately come to an end. Dirk converts with a pinpoint ball on 3rd and long, but he makes his first big mistake when Jaquan Brisker picks him off inside the red zone. And yeah, I have to do it. I'm gonna have to say it. Brisker? I hardly know her. The 49ers defense refuses to give up an inch, and it's time to make the Bears finally pay. Dirk lofts a perfect dime over the linebacker to Debo for his 2nd passing touchdown. The Niners force another touchdown, and with great field position, Dirk adds another touchdown for good measure. In the end, Dirk plays so well that he does the impossible and manages to get Kyle Shanahan to hold on to a 28-3 lead. Dirk Diggler is now 1-0 as a starter in San Francisco, but there's still much work to be done. After the commanding victory, we get to the locker room, and my backup, Jimmy Garoppolo, is dancing around like he actually contributed to the win. Up next is San Fran's arch nemesis, the Seattle Seahawks. And by the way, people from San Fran love it when you call it San Fran. Dirk is faced with an early 3rd and long, but he stands tall and delivers a laser beam to move the chains. I mean, not tall literally, he's like 5'5". Dirk tries to rush for a touchdown like last week, but he gets stripped and Seattle makes a huge stand early. Dirk is finding out quickly that speed is not his strong suit, and it's now leading to sacks for the Seahawks. Darrell Taylor brings him down on 3rd down, and later on, Dirk holds onto the ball way too long, fumbling for a 2nd time in the game. Luckily, the ball goes right to one of our offensive linemen, but later, in a goal-to-go series, Dirk falls victim to a blitz. He takes yet another sack, but you can't keep a good man down for long, and Dirk comes right back with a beautifully layered pass. It's now 2nd and goal, and Dirk fires a ball into the tightest of coverage for a score. There's only about 1 inch of separation on the play, but Ray MacLeod manages to haul in the TD and give SF the lead. Seriously, don't try this at home, kids. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll and his son Drew Lock are absolutely flabbergasted on the sideline. Seattle gets a field goal, but Diggler answers, going for the jugular before half. We jump ahead to a 3-point game in the second half, and Dirk beats cover 2 down the sideline for a big gain. Kyle Shanahan puts Deebo Samuel in the backfield, and Dirk finds him in the end zone for yet another touchdown. The Niners have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and it's a simple game of pitch and catch for Dirk and Debo. Another touchdown. If you're keeping score at home, that's 4 TD passes for Diggler, and on the sideline, Drew Lock is trying to escape reality by listening to rap in his helmet radio. Diggler's not done yet. In fact, he's going for touchdown number 5. On second down, he escapes trouble, runs to the right, and has a clear path to the end zone, but he slides in order to pad his passing stats, which he does on the next play. That's TD number 5, baby. I know it's only been 2 games, but Diggler has cemented himself as better than Joe Montana and Steve Young combined. 49ers get the victory to advance to 2-0, and that's where we'll leave it off today. Thanks for watching, and if this video gets enough likes and views, you'll be getting some more Diggler, trust me.